No, they got a great team. Probably the best defensive team in the country. And for two reasons: scheme-wise, what they do with their size, but also personnel-wise. They got 3 shot blockers on the floor at all times. Great athletes and veterans as well. They got guys who've done it. They've been around. They know what they're doing. Extremely hard to score the basketball in San Diego State. You're talking about a team that went to Kansas last year and broke a non-league win streak that Kansas had at home. That's Kansas with the 1st and 3rd pick in the NBA draft last year. Kansas couldn't get to 60 against them. So they're a great defensive team. They got great athletes, really well coached.
Statistically, they're a lot like you. They don't score a lot. Like you talked about their defense. Are they similar to you offensively too?
They're a lot bigger than we are, I think, other than the point guard position. Because of Shepard and Polee on the wings at 6'7", they haven't shot the ball particularly well at times, and they don't have anybody that's a high assist guy. So the one thing that they've had to replace is Xavier Thames. Was the equivalent of Sean Kilpatrick for them. He made a lot of plays late in the shot clock, made a lot of plays with the ball in his hands, and that's I think we're both going through the process of developing somebody that you can count on to make plays for you, whether it's an assist, whether it's get fouled or a basket. One of those 3 things. They're trying to develop somebody like that, just like we are.
Is that one of the biggest things you're lacking now, is to have somebody that you can go to like that, and someone close to that, you think, that you like to name?
It's a lot of things still. I mean, we're still in the infant stages development-wise, which is to be expected. At times we abandon our offense, or we don't get to the end of our offense, which is a mark of an inexperienced team. Then the second part of that is, that when that happens, somebody to bail you out, which is what you're getting at. I think, we have got to continue to execute, pass the ball, and share the ball. I think that's the key long term to having a good offense, to where you got multiple people that can score, and the open man's the go-to man. But it is nice to have somebody that can bail you out late in the clock and take the ball to basket, for instance, in a tie game with 12 seconds left, and make sure he gets fouled. That's obvious. But everybody like to have a guy like that. But I think you got to develop people like that. SK didn't become like that overnight. I know Xavier Thames wasn't like that overnight for San Diego State. Heck, he transferred from Washington State. So those kind of guys develop over time.
Who do you think who might be that guy for you? Are there guys you look at and say this is a guy that might develop into that?
Well, you hope a lot of guys can. I mean, when you recruit guys, you're always looking at best case scenario, what you think a guy can become. And who can make plays, whether it's for himself or other people, and then the biggest part of that is get fouled. So we work with all the guys on that. I mean, right now Troy's got the ball in his hands the most, but he's not the only guy that we're trying to develop.
Is that the biggest thing that's lacking offensively for you now?
No, I think that what I said was the biggest thing. I think we've got to continue to let our offense work. Early in that game, you got 3 types of possessions. You got possessions where you throw 3 or less passes and you end up with a semi-open shot that you can't rebound. You got possessions where you turn it over. Octavius really struggled with that the other night. Then you got possessions where you get a good shot. You work the offense, you find the open man, you get a good shot. But that's not where it ends. You got to make it, or you got to get fouled, then you got to make the free throws. So there's parts to it. When we did run good offense, way more than you would realize, we didn't make the layup, we didn't make the free throw, we didn't make a very makeable shot 10 feet and in.
Their relationship with Steve Fisher?
Yeah, he's great. I've known him since I was at Woodward. He's one of the.
At Woodward?
Yep. He was. He came in to recruit Damon.
Okay.
back in the day when I met Coach Fish. One of the nicest people in our business. You know, he and I've had a nice little relationship, which I appreciate. He's a wonderful person. I'm also close with the next head coach at San Diego State, Brian Dutchers. He's a lot like me, son of a high school coach in Michigan. He went out west with Fish years ago. Lives on the beach. He's got it made.
Is he known as a defensive coach?
Well, he's become one. You know, but interestingly, if you look back at his teams at Michigan, they did the same things that they do now. They double team the post every time. They don't do it based on your personnel. If you throw it at the low post, they double team the guy. And they've been pretty consistent with what they do. I think here in the last 3 or 4 years, they've really gotten to be known as a great defensive team. Where their program's gone to a whole nother level. And, you know, I think that they've 50-something games they've won against teams from the state of California. It's unbelievable. You got to look that one up. They haven't lost a game to a team from California in like 56, 57 games. You know, there's pretty good teams in California. There's 4 Pac-12 teams, I know that.